Hello and welcome to the Inspo Pod, season 2. And welcome back, Barry, again.
Yay!
Third time?
Yay! Yay! Third time's a charm. Third
Love
time's
it, love
lucky.
it. I know,
Yeah,
I know,
happy to be here chatting to you, babe.
I know. And I'm so sad to not have you in person this time. Like we've done all our other episodes in person. So it's sad to not have your energy next to me.
Aw,
But I'm glad to get you on. You look beautiful as always.
thank
Um,
you. As do you. I was just saying before this how much I love Bethany's hair. She looks gorgeous
oh,
today.
thank you. It's finally
So
growing. I'm like, come
so
on.
long.
So how have you been?
It's been really good. Well, actually, I'm really good now. But Christmas is just a hectic time of year, isn't it? And New
Yeah.
Year. It's a hectic time, and especially this year for me, it felt like 2024 and 2025 already feel so different.
Yeah.
Um, and so obviously any transition period is it's a little bit like junky, like clunky, not junky. That's the wrong word.
I love that
That's
word.
a different thing altogether. Um, but yeah, it has definitely been like a bit of a transition. December was like really hard, but January feels really good and positive and fun. So
Yeah.
feels like a fresh energy coming into this year. What about you? How do you feel?
Good. No, I feel the same, and I think that's what we're going to touch on today is like I don't know, I feel for me like the energy before Christmas and New Year is so different to after. And
Mm,
like I feel I don't know why, I don't know if anyone else in the world feels this way, but I feel like a sense of like relief after Christmas. It's like once
definitely.
Christmas is done and then you've done New Year, you get this kind of like refreshing feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Like a weight's been lifted. Yeah.
Yeah,
So same.
I definitely feel that as well. Yeah, I definitely feel it's kind of like not like a clean slate, but it just feels like you said, like a sigh of relief. You're like, oh my God, I've actually
Yeah.
done it. Like, and I'm actually, I think, we should all look back and be pretty proud, no matter how the year's gone. We're
Yeah.
all going to have like achieved things and got through difficult things and challenges and times. So for me, I look back and I was like, okay, I'm proud of what I did, but kind of feel like you're
Yeah.
starting again, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a good time for reflection. But I do also, though, I hate the whole New Year, new me thing.
Yeah,
So I'm like, I
I
do
do
kind
as
of, I kind of like that kind of like it's a fresh start. We can like set new goals, reflect, like think of projections for the next year. But I also don't like saying like, oh, new year, new me, here's my
well.
resolutions. Because I feel like we should always be making resolutions and like always evolving. Um, but it does feel like a good time to reflect.
Yeah.
So I guess on that note, how was your 2024? Like round it up for us. Tell the listeners like how you feel about that year. Like,
I feel like I've been reflecting, I've been thinking about it. I feel like 2024, I was just like, let's throw everything up in the air. Let's throw my energy and scatter it everywhere and see what sticks. That was like my method for 2024. There was no strategy. There was no like structure at all. It was like, let's just throw everything, scatter my energy, and then see what comes back to me. And I think sometimes
yeah,
you do have to do that because what's right for you will stick. And if you don't know what that is or you don't know the way forward, sometimes you have to just like throw everything everywhere in terms of your
yeah,
energy. And then now things are finally starting to stick. So it was a bit of a chaotic method, but yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I went traveling a lot, like, well, not traveling a lot, but I went on like 4 holidays. Like,
Ooh, lucky
yeah,
you.
I went two with friends, one with family, and then I've been to Paris like 3 times. Went to 7 music
Beautiful.
festivals, working at music festivals, and did 7 in
Oh
the end.
my gosh.
The summer was crazy.
That
So
is crazy.
yeah, oh, and
I'm
I've
jealous.
worked like 4 jobs the whole year at the same time. So it's definitely been chaotic,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've really enjoyed it and I've had a lot of fun and I've Yeah,
Good.
I've done my route, which has been really fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
What
And
about
I'm,
you?
yeah, kind of similar, kind of not. Um, I guess if I reflect on the year, obviously I've done this podcast, which for me was such a big thing. And it's like it's become like a part of me, which I love. So
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing. But I kind of did a little bit of everything and was kind of like, as you know, I went self-employed, so we're both freelance on that self-employed kind of vibe and just trying to figure out kind of what I wanted to do and where I want to be. And I think I'm finally getting
Yeah,
there. It's
yeah.
always like the unknown. And I know like people have said to me, and I've heard people say to other people, don't throw like you said, don't throw it you like throw everything at everything. Like don't do that. Just focus on one thing, do this, do that. But I don't think that's right because I think what you've done is the right thing because sometimes you kind of have to try a bit of everything and it all contributes to who you are and you learn something from everything you do. So as long as you're
Hmm.
doing things that you enjoy and you're making money, you can pay your bills, you're enjoying life, that's the main thing. And I think it all leads somewhere.
Yeah,
If you could focus on one
absolutely.
thing and then realize like actually this is not for me and then
Yeah.
you've wasted that time. So I really do think you've done it the right way. And I think it's good that you're the same as me, slowly like figuring out, like, you're like narrowing it down. That's how I feel anyway. Like, I'm narrowing
Hmm.
it down and getting closer to who I am and what I want to be, which is
Yeah,
great.
which
So
is
it's been a
really
good
great.
year. It's been a
Yes,
good
yeah,
year, definitely.
definitely. I
Um,
think I think it can be hard to do that though, because obviously you are going to then find yourself in places that aren't resonant with you, or you don't
yes.
feel like you fit in, or
Yeah.
it like is ahead of you in some respects, but behind you in other respects. And so that can be,
Yeah.
I totally understand that that can be really difficult for people, for everyone to like
Yeah.
willingly put themselves in a
Definitely.
situation that isn't comfortable, that the people are maybe not quite the right people or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
but I
I can
think as an
definitely relate.
empath, I think we're both pretty empathetic people. I think that makes it easier because can, I can always find something in common with most people. So I
Yeah,
think that's
exactly.
helped is like, if you've got those skills, I think you can be fine in most situations, you know?
Yeah. And I think sometimes as well, I have a tendency to like make out that everything's great. Like, oh yeah, it was a great year, like everything's great.
Mm.
But I definitely feel like in living how we're living, there has been times where it's not been that great. There's been moments in the past year where I've been, kind of questioning what I'm doing or, been sort of thinking, oh, I'm not so happy. Like, I've gone down this road a little bit. How do I like go back and then like recalibrate, like, and you,
Mhm.
you have those moments, and I think it's important to try and be really real about that because I have a tendency to make everything sound great.
Yeah, yeah.
But to be real, like, I think being self-employed is not easy in general, but
No,
especially if you're someone
it's
like
not.
us where we want to do different things and I think I don't know if I feel like you're similar to me, but correct me if I'm wrong. But where we want to work somewhere and do work that kind of nourishes our soul a little bit, and also the people really matter.
Yeah.
So I'm not someone where I'm like, for example, I want to do law, and as long as I'm doing law, I'm happy. That's not
Hmm.
me. I'm someone where it's like, well, I could do a bit of this and I could do a bit of that, but as long as the place I'm at is like a good vibe and I feel good about what I'm doing, that's more important. Am I making sense?
Totally. Totally. And I actually
Yeah.
didn't really realize that. I knew that, but you saying that now is like, oh my God, yeah, that is actually so important to me. Like,
Yeah,
and that makes such a difference. It can make you be a best version of yourself and the other people around you are fitting
definitely.
with how you want to feel.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, ups and downs. It's been an
Hmm.
interesting year, but on the whole, I think good. And I'm glad that we're both kind of finding our feet, and that's really, really nice
Yeah.
to
I
hear.
don't know about you, but I also found like I learned all my lessons in December, it feels like, like it wasn't spread out throughout the year. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to learn about boundaries in April and I'm going to learn about not having burnout in March. It was like, okay, all of these things, I'm going to have to tie up all these ends in
All
December.
at
And so,
once.
yeah,
Well, that's
it
stressful.
was stressful.
Um, I feel like that didn't happen for me, luckily, but I do feel like December was a tough time. I was out of work for a few weeks, still been out of work for a few weeks, kind of just doing a little bit here and there. And I'll be honest, it's been really tough.
Mm,
And I think December's a tough time anyway. Like it feels so hectic and so busy, and the days are so short, and it's just,
mm.
yeah, it's a lot. So to kind of, for you to kind of do all that in December as well, what a heavy month.
It was heavy. And Christmas,
But
I
it's
was just
gone.
like, no one talk to me. Like, I just need to be with myself. Like, but obviously you
Just need to
can't, and
chill.
that's really
Yeah.
hard. But yeah, I think like obviously I know it's been great for you to like have this time to like recalibrate, but also it is hard. But you don't, like you said, you seem to like make it out like it's positive a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely something that we both want to work on, which is like asking for help and being
Yeah. It's
open
the
about those
Taurus.
things. Just
We
the
are
Taurus.
Tauruses, guys. Tauruses don't ask for help. I keep seeing these memes of like someone carrying, like a woman on her own carrying a whole sofa, and then someone saying like, just ask for help, and she's like, no, I'm a Taurus. I got this.
No, it's
It's
not an
like
option. Who do you think I
that's
am?
so us, so us.
It
But I do like
really is.
to think I can figure it out on my own, and I
Yeah.
think I do need and do need to get better at it at asking for help. But I like to figure stuff out on my own because then it feels really good when I get there. But I
Hmm.
have had some times where I've talked to like certain people that I'm close to where I've said, no, just let me figure it out. Like, don't tell me what to do. I'm not gonna listen. Let me fuck up. Let me just do this. I have to do it my way. I'm so stubborn. And
Yeah.
then afterwards, it's worked out exactly as they've said, and they've been like, I could have saved you all this time, but I'm like, nope, I needed to do it my way.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think maybe what I need to work on personally is getting better at taking advice from people who've maybe done something already or have knowledge in that area that I don't,
Mm.
rather than just
Yeah.
kind of asking for help, just letting people that can advise me.
Yeah, because sometimes if you ask for too much advice, that can end up getting really confusing. Like I found that in circumstances recently. Like
Yeah.
sometimes when you're talking to so many different people and you're trying to get a lot of advice, and you're like, oh, but then you lose what is actually resonant with you.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's just a struggle to find that balance, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. And it's so funny talking to another Taurus. I'd be so intrigued to hear what other star signs think about this. So if anyone wants to
Mm,
write in, let us know. Like, how do you go about life and navigate doing shit for yourself and asking, but also asking for help? Like,
yeah.
oh, I just don't. Yeah, it's interesting.
I think some people are equal to us, like they don't ask for help as well, but then others will definitely be more uh, group minded, I think. It'll be
Yeah,
interesting to hear what people have to say about that for sure.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I don't think I'll change though. I think like I'll try, but I think I'll
Mm,
always be a little bit stubborn and a little bit like I can do this.
yeah. And using our methods, because we all are like, oh, we're going to change. But actually, I don't think
Are we?
we really do that much, do we? Like, we learn to be a bit more accepting of ourselves. And I think that's the thing I learned in December, at the end of the year as well. It's like, I'm not on a self improvement journey anymore. I'm on a self acceptance and understanding because,
Interesting. Okay. I
like,
like that.
what's the point in saying we have to improve ourselves? I think the best thing we can do is just understand ourselves and where that's coming from and make our life work.
Yeah.
And the people around us understand, like, how is
Yeah.
best for us.
It's
Yeah.
interesting you say that actually. That just reminds me because I definitely want to do an episode about therapy at some point. And
Mm,
that's just that really relates to me in terms of therapy. So when I go into a therapy session every week, sometimes I don't even know what I want to talk about, and I'll be like, "Oh, the week's been great, everything's great, I've got nothing to say, like it's all good." Um, but something we'll chat about something, and 9 times out of 10, we'll talk about things I didn't really like realize I needed to talk about, and it'll go back to understanding where a behavior of mine comes from, like where it originates from. And in the understanding, it has a knock-on effect of making me improve anyway. So like actually understanding and accepting, oh, I'm this way because I've been through this and that's okay.
Hmm.
And also connecting the dots of like, oh, I do this because of this. I've never connected that before. It makes sense. That
Yeah.
naturally just helps me improve because the level of understanding and acceptance I have for myself after that session just makes me naturally be a better person because I'm aware of my behaviors and I'm aware of why I do these things and I
Yeah.
accept myself and then I naturally just I don't know. It's
I just
weird.
feel
It's
more
a weird
clear.
one.
Your thinking is more clear after that, and you feel more grounded, and you
Yeah.
don't feel like there's something off. Like you can, you don't have to change those things. You just have to understand them, and then they don't feel as like
Yeah.
negative, I guess.
Yeah. And then once you understand them, they just naturally like improve. But you're never going to
Yeah.
fully change. Like you are who you are. But it's like once you accept it and you understand it, you just, I think, become a better person slowly.
Mm,
I hope. Don't
yeah.
know. But maybe it
Yeah.
only lasts for a week and then maybe I revert back to my old self. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, acceptance and understanding for your own behaviors, I think, is really important
Yeah.
for
Absolutely.
sure. So, what are your plans then for 2025? So, talk to me about. So, December was tough.
Hmm.
You
Tough,
kind
but
of,
like, yeah,
but
productive.
alone, but yeah, tough. But
Yeah.
when you're in the toughest times is when you learn the most, right?
Yeah.
I'm very fidgety today. Sorry, I'm just like just moving around. Um,
Can't sit still.
so so you had December, tricky month. Prior
Hmm.
to that, you were kind of doing a bit of everything, which is not necessarily a bad thing, throwing
Yeah.
everything at everything, like all over the place, but doing loads of fun stuff. You had an amazing year.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel now going into 2025 and like where are you focusing in on job wise and personally, I guess? Like, what's your
Hmm.
focus? What's your goals? Where are you at?
It's like I said, it just feels totally different. I've been freelance for the past 2 years, and absolutely loved it. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely loved it. But now I'm starting to feel like I'm at a point in time where I want to focus my energy again.
Yeah.
I've been working at a theatre company, a really amazing theatre company in London, like flexibly, and a job opportunity just came up for a 10-month contract at the theatre
Ooh.
company. Um, and it's just the perfect opportunity. It's literally like I applied for other jobs and I didn't get them, and I was super disappointed. And it's all because this one is the right one for me right now. And I got it. I got it
Yeah.
last week. And
Just
so I'm just
remember,
super
a
ready. Yeah,
no is not a rejection, it's redirection.
it's redirection. Absolutely. And what I want to say about this is like divine timing, because when we were in December, you kept saying to me, divine timing. And I was like, oh God, I
You're
hope
like,
so.
shut up, Beth.
But no, I wasn't. I was just like, I hope so. And like, it's always good to remind each other of our like fundamental beliefs, because you can
Yeah.
like forget about it sometime. And you're like, divine timing. And it absolutely has been the case. It feels so right. And I think, when something's hard, it's probably because it's not right. I think the for me, what
Yeah.
I'm realizing the patterns in my so far is that if it is easy, it's the right thing. Like not
Yeah.
in terms of easy, like you haven't put any effort in, but the effort you put in feels completely like it's coming naturally.
Yes. Yeah.
Rather than you having to like be totally burnt out because of a certain situation. It just is like you
100%.
want to put the effort in. It's good. It's like abundantly flowing out of you because
Yeah.
it's the
It
right
should
thing.
feel effortless. Like I know I've
Hmm.
struggled in the past with jobs where I've been in a job and I've not been the happiest and I've I've really been hard on myself and thought I'm not clever enough or I'm not good at anything because I'm really struggling. And every time I put all the effort in, it just feels like I'm putting so much effort in and not getting much back.
Yeah.
And I've been like, right, I've got no talents. I'm not clever enough. I've got no work ethic clearly because I'm not getting anywhere. Like, and then
Which
when I do a job, huh?
you've got loads of work ethic. You're very clever. Like,
This is the thing.
um,
Like, I actually, a few years ago, didn't think I did. And I was working like Monday to Friday and weekends and just feeling like I'm clearly not good enough at anything. Whereas when I'm doing things like more recently where I'm in a place where I'm good at something and it's the right thing, it feels effortless and it just feels
mhm.
like, oh, I do have talent, but I shouldn't need to feel like I'm like you say, burning myself out in order to prove I've got talent. I have got talent and I can just do it. Like I have got something to offer. Does that make sense?
Totally, totally what I'm realizing. And it's like, it's hard to know that it's there, but when you find it, um, you're like, oh yeah, like it really feels like that's true.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it feels with this job. It's like exactly the right time, and it feels like I'm going to be the best version of myself and bring the best to the role. Um,
Yeah.
and obviously, as you know, and as we talked about on the pod before, like I am an actress, and so they've said that they're fully going to support that as well because it's a theatre company, so they
That's
still
good.
like want to support me in that. So it's just ticking every box, and yeah, it
Yeah.
get a bit more stability, which I think I'm ready for. But then I'm definitely keen to go freelance again in the future. But that's kind of what my
Yeah.
2025 is looking like. Is okay, yeah, I've identified where I want to go, and I've identified the things I need to do in order to get there. Now it's just focusing in on that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
music festivals. I want to do more.
oh, same, but I need money.
I know we're just constantly
No
sending
problem.
each other like, let's do this for our birthday. Let's do this for our birthday. Let's
Oh,
do this music festival.
I just want to do so many, but then I also want to do Ibiza because I don't know if I have mentioned this actually on the pod before, but for any new listeners, I'm an Ibiza. I'm just gonna call myself an Ibiza queen because I love it.
Yeah.
And I go maybe twice a year, sometimes three times a year. And I want to do festivals as well. And I want to do like city breaks in Europe. And I'm just like, I
Mhm.
can't do all this. This is just too many
You can.
holidays in one
Yes, you
year.
can. You absolutely can.
I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and do some work, like maybe get some work at a festival or something like that.
Hmm.
Like I know you've done that previously, and I'm gonna see if I can do that because that's kind of killing two birds with one stone, you know?
Yeah,
So
that's it.
yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, I can make that happen this year. Yeah, you had a lot of holidays last year. I'm very jealous.
I did. Like, was going away every weekend in summer for festivals, and then in autumn I was like going to Europe and France a lot. So I went to Bucharest. Yeah, so it's good. But I definitely think, yeah, try and kill two birds with one stone. If you can get some work at a festival or
Yeah.
something like that, it's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. Also, on that note, I just briefly want to address something that bugs me in life.
Oh God.
Just talking about icks. So I feel like as someone that's nearly 35, mid 30s, I am getting on a bit. 35 is quite old, I feel. But a lot of people have said to me, you know, you shouldn't be working at events and festivals at your age. Like you should have a proper job and like, people do like stewarding at festivals and things like that when they're like
Hmm.
21 or 18 or whatever.
Hmm.
You need to be grown up now. But I just think, why? Well, why not? Like, if that's what makes me happy and I'm thriving,
Hmm.
why not? Like, why can't I do that?
Absolutely. And also, they're saying
Irritates
that
me.
from their experience, but
Yeah,
I can tell you from my experience, I've seen 60-year-old festival
this
stewards.
is it. And do you know what?
Like
They're the
they are
happiest
out there,
people.
they just don't know them.
Yeah. And you know what? When I meet people in their 40s, 50s, whatever, that are like kind of living this free lifestyle, they tend to be the happiest people to me. Not to
Mm.
like put anyone else down that's kind of settled, like everyone's on their own path, but they always seem so happy. And if that's who you want to be, like be that person. Like I want to
Yeah,
be that person. So
yeah. And I think it's great that
yeah,
20-year-olds are doing festival stewarding because I wasn't. cool enough to do that when I was 20.
I'm sure
And I
you
think
were.
it's great that 60-year-olds are doing that. But like I'm coming at it at this time in my life when I'm
Yeah,
29,
and why
almost
not?
30.
Who
Like
cares?
that's the
Like,
time I'm
who
coming at it
cares?
into.
I want to
I think
be
I'd rather.
40. Yeah. I want to be 40, sexy,
Mhm.
free, like living it up at the
Yeah.
festivals. Like, I always thought I'd stop going to Ibiza at some point as well. And I feel like I'm going to be 50 and in Ibiza, just like, yeah, dance with Wayne Lineker at Ocean Beach. If he's still
He'll
alive
still
then.
be there.
Bless,
He'll still be
God
there
bless him.
for eternity. He'll be there for eternity.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. That sounds great,
Um,
but I feel that.
I love it. I'm just excited for life, not just
Hmm.
2025, just like life. I feel like it's gonna be, I mean, it is good. Life is good, right?
Hmm.
I'm very
Absolutely.
excitable today. I'm like, woohoo.
It just feels like a
Um,
good. I mean, we've got the planets aligning like this week, or like all but one of the planets are aligning. This is good energy. We're in the age of Aquarius. Good energy.
yeah.
Like, I hope everyone else is feeling, excited.
Yeah, I hope so. Really hope so. Um, okay, my love, we've got 6 minutes left.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, or have you got any further like advice or updates for
I've
anyone?
got an ick. I don't know if any, just a very
Let's
random
do
ick
it. Let's do
because
it.
I I guess it's very random, but also very annoying. I don't understand, right? When it's raining and people have a jacket with a hood,
I know
why are
what you're
you
going to
walking
say.
down the street without their hood on? Like, I just want to go up to that. I just like so have such a huge urge to just tap them on the shoulder and be like, put your hood up. You're getting
Yeah, but
wet. Did you
maybe
know
they
you're
don't
getting
mind. Maybe they're
But
not
why wear
bothered.
a coat with a hood then? That's then what makes me. I'm like, well, you don't mind getting wet, then don't wear a coat with a hood because it just gets wet inside,
I love it.
and it just
That's so
frustrates me. So I'm like,
funny.
are you stupid? Like, like, are you just like not even? Oh god, it stresses me out so much.
Hilarious. No, that's really funny. That is funny.
I
Um,
just, I just wanted to let you know that it really angers me.
no, everyone listening needed to hear that. I feel like that was so funny. I needed that. I don't know if I have any icks that are coming to mind right now. Um, do I? I don't know. I don't know. Men? No, I'm joking.
Just generally, oh yeah,
Oh, I do
on the
have
whole,
one. People that leave the door open when they go in anywhere and it's winter. Like if you're walking into a cafe and it's full of people and you've just walked in and the door's open.
oh
Oh
god,
my God.
that's so true. It's like, why are they doing
Fills me
that?
with rage. Fills me with rage. I'm that annoying person though, and I'm sure I'm somebody's ick for doing this, but I will walk up and go, sorry, I'm just gonna close the door.
And make a thing of it. Would you?
So passive. I do. I literally did it yesterday in the coffee shop near my house. And my housemate was with me, and she said, "Just leave it, Beth. They'll be leaving again in a minute. They'll close it behind them." And I was like, "No, because I'm cold. I'm actually cold."
Were they
So
just in the queue to get a takeaway coffee? Like they were gonna
yeah,
leave.
and they were stood right next to the door, but the door was open. So I went, "Sorry, can I just squeeze past just to close?" Thank you. I'm so passive aggressive. I'm literally that's what I need to work on in 2025 is my passive aggressiveness because
You are a little bit like I like it. I
I
think it's
am.
great. But the way you do it is passive aggressive. You're like with a smile on your face, like as though you have no aggression at all, but you're just like, I'm just gonna close that door, you idiot. Like
Oh, it's
so
so
funny.
funny. But that
I
that is
love it
definitely just to be on a bit of a serious note, that is my goal for 2025 is to work on my
though.
aggression because I think in general I'm quite an aggressive person. Again, that is a trait of Taurus.
Mm.
I was going to say tourism. Tourism?
Tourism, is
Taurus.
that a new word that we just created?
It's a trait of being a Taurus is aggression, but I think Tauruses have it in varying degrees,
Yeah, we
and
all
I
have
have
it.
it
Just
quite.
expresses in different
I'm
ways.
like quite an aggressive person. I need to work on that. Um, but yeah, that's the only ick I can think of.
That's a very good one.
And people,
For
no,
me,
actually,
I
people telling me
scour
what
the
to do.
floor.
Who scours at
Yeah,
people?
me, I do. If someone left the door open and I was cold, I'd just wait for like too
That's
long.
passive
And then I'd
aggressive
just
as
be like,
well.
and just like fully just be a moody bitch, basically.
I love it. I love it. I just hate being told what to do as well. People telling me what to do is such an ick. Actually
Mm,
angers me. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like partners, ex-partners, family, like random people, just like anybody saying, like, you have to
mm,
do this. You
mm.
can't do what you're doing. You have to do this. I'm like, why? Let me do what I want.
It's interesting because that used to be a real thing for me. Like, I really used to, every time I'd have an argument with someone, which wasn't very often, but when I did have an argument, it would be like, don't tell me what to do. Like, stop telling me what to do.
Yep.
So that was
Yep.
definitely always a thing for me. But for some reason, it's not really been an issue for me recently. I don't know why.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Maybe it's because you're like more empowered and you're more self-accepting, so people are accepting you. Because I think when
I think,
you accept yourself, people around you kind of like realize she's just going to do what she wants anyway, and she's on her own
mhm.
path and she's just doing her thing. So people are less, I feel, inclined to like tell you what to do.
Yeah, I think so.
No?
Maybe that's true. Like, maybe they have this feeling of like trusting my decision making.
Yeah,
They're not like, oh, actually, I think you should do this. Like, yeah, they're probably like accepting that I'm kind of
yeah,
I know what I'm doing and I know what I want, which is good.
yeah. That's nice. That's
Yeah,
nice. So 2025, because we've
you
got
do as well.
just a couple of minutes. Huh?
You do as well, so I'm sure
What do I
it'll get.
do?
You know, you know what you want. So
Yeah,
yeah.
kind of. I'm getting there. Trying my best. Um, so we've got a couple of minutes left. So 2025, just to like round up,
Mhm.
we're gonna keep going with what we're doing. You've got this
Mhm.
amazing job, which is
Yeah.
perfect. It aligns with you.
Mhm.
Um, you're excited about that. I'm excited for you as well. I'm excited to see how this transpires and like how it makes you feel and like what you get from it. And I think it's another step in your journey, which is amazing. And I think for both of us, we're just slowly getting. I feel like we're like we know who we want to be, we know who we are, and we're slowly getting closer to that step by step. But we're also who we are now, and we're also enjoying the moment. And then
Mhm.
on the steps, like on the journey to like where we want to get to, sometimes we sidestep, sometimes we step backwards, but it's like a little dance. We're just dancing to where we want to go.
Yeah,
That's
like
how I
we're
look
in
at
the
it.
center of it and we're like working out how the world's going to look for us, but we are
Yeah,
like we're in the center of it in a good way.
exactly. Exactly. And then I just want to say one thing to finish off because this, and I want to ask you if you have this as well, because this is something that really blows my mind. I visualize everything. So in my head, I actually see my life like that. I see like a destination of where I'd like to get to. And then I see where I am now. And I kind of just visualize this little dance and this journey. And I also have a voice in my head that talks to me all the time. Like I can hear my thoughts. Apparently, some people don't have these things. Like they don't have a voice in their head and they don't visualize everything. But I'm
I
like, well,
do.
what's in your head? So
Yeah.
what's in your head then? What goes on up there?
I don't know. I've
What?
researched this because I can hear my thoughts and yeah, I
Yeah.
do visualize things. I think I need to do that more visualizing, but
Yeah.
definitely hear my thoughts.
Good.
So what's
I'm
going
glad we're
on
on the
there
same
for
page.
people?
God knows. Right. This is going to cut us off in less than a minute. So
Okay.
I'm going to say, amazing chat as always. Thank you so, so, so
Mhm.
much. I'm excited for your 2025. I'm excited for mine. We're going to smash it. We're going to do more episodes as well. And if
Yeah.
anyone listening has any questions or wants to give us insight into like how their star sign works, because
Hmm.
we're both Taurus, fire away, let us know, and we'll like do an episode on it in the future. But yeah,
Yeah. And I
thank you
think
so much.
next time we might delve into men potentially.
Yes. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about with that.
Yeah.
But amazing. Well, thank you so, so much.